Look up, look down, look out. Here come the monkeys.
Mickey,
David,
Mike,
Peter.
We're talking about them in Monkeying Around. That's right, Monkeying Around has everything, including
interviews,
Episode reviews.
album discussions,
and other incredible surprises.
Monkeying Around, a podcast about the monkeys. Welcome back to Monkeying Around. This week we are going to be talking about the 1972 movie Night of the Strangler, starring Micky Dolenz. But first, Chuck, what's happening in the world of the monkeys?
Well, as folks may have noticed, the monkeys are now on Tubi. We haven't been able to talk about this much over the last few weeks. And you guys will remember I was skeptical if it was going to actually happen. And it actually happened.
Yeah.
So we're going to have a longer discussion about that later. But if you're listening to this and somehow don't know that the monkeys are on Tubi, go check out Tubi and stream the monkeys because we want it to be successful on there.
Yes.
And we've been asking for years on this show to have the monkeys on a streaming service. So kudos to whoever made this happen. I still think it's weird that neither the Monkeys official page or Micky Dolenz official page has said a peep about it that I've seen. But nevertheless, we can watch the monkeys on Tubi. And I think the timing was just right with the Monkeys on TV album, the soundtrack of the TV show coming out, because you can watch the episodes, you can listen to the songs. It's great.
Can't read the songs, though.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to have one of our friends on later, probably sometime in October, who has been revisiting the monkeys on Tubi for the first time in 40 years, watching the TV show. So that'll be a fun perspective to have when we circle back around and talk about that. But then also, because we're not going to be here next week, we're going to be off next week because we're all going to be in Dragon Con prep mode. But September the 4th is the debut of Micky Dolenz' new EP, Timeless.
Yay!
And
So
so
excited.
that following week on the 9th, we'll be back and we'll be joined by Derek Miner from Mixing Links, The Monkeys on Disc, to talk about that new EP, and we're all very excited about that. But also, Derek, while we're at Dragon Con, he's going to be going to the M60 convention, and so he'll be our reporter coming back and letting us know the scoops, everything that happened at that convention. So I'm super excited about that show. So no Monkeying Around next week, but we'll be back on September the 9th at our same Monkeying Around time, same Monkeying Around channel. And that's what's happening in the world of the monkeys.
All right. And tonight we are joined by Kevin. Welcome back, Kevin. We're so glad to have you.
Well, I am thrilled to be back here on Monkeying Around, Veronica. Great to see you all again.
Yeah.
And Kevin, you host one of our sister shows on the ESO network, the Flopcast. If anyone's ever listened to the Flopcast, and I was actually listening to the Flopcast today, and you gave us a shout out because we're going to be at Dragon Con, so I appreciate that.
Yeah. We do so much Dragon Con coverage every year on the Flopcast. We do like 2 preview shows, and then we do 3 review shows after. So we've got it covered. We're pretty obsessed.
That's awesome. Well, thank you very much for joining us.
Of course.
I'm going to grab some comments before we dive in. Art by Victoria says hi.
Hi.
KB Kitties says, nice watching the monkeys on Tubi.
Yes.
And Derek Miner says, hey.
We're the monkeys.
That's right. If it was one more hey, it'd be Fat Albert. But if it's 2 hays, it's the monkeys. I think that's the rule.
Yep.
Yeah.
So who had seen Night of the Strangler before we watched it for this podcast?
Me?
Elaine had. Okay. Kevin, had you?
Absolutely not. No.
Okay.
Me neither.
Neither have I. And actually, it's not the kind of movie that I thought it was.
No.
I've heard of Night of the Strangler, of course.
Yep.
And I kind of assumed it would be like a low budget 70s like horror kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And it wasn't really. It was more like a mystery story with
Murder
some
mystery.
blaxploitation elements in it that were interesting. But Elaine, you had seen this before. I mean, so what was your impression of Night of the Strangler coming into this?
Well, I randomly watched it because was it on Turner Movie Classics or something? It was on. I was flipping channels and I was home by myself and I was like, "Oh, this got Mickey in it. Let me just watch it." And so it was. I knew it was more of a mystery, kind of like the with like who did it and why does it keep happening and all this stuff, like because in New Orleans and all of that. And so I thought it was interesting, but I do, especially after watching Keep Off My Grass and then watching this again. This is a higher level. Production values are much better on this movie. And
I mean, I feel like we got like original film for this, and we got like bootleg version for Keep Off My Grass.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
That's true.
So
That's true.
the quality definitely goes down for that.
Yeah, but if you say the production value is better than Keep Off My Grass, we should say that's a low bar.
It is. It is. But also, this was a different role for Mickey. It was completely not Mickey from the Monkees, and it was not whatever his name was in Keep Off My Grass. It was definitely a grown-up character. What?
His name was
Oh. Him, yeah. I forgot. But yeah, so I did I don't mind this movie. I was saying, it was not, I didn't feel put out that I had to watch it again, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I didn't think it was a bad movie at all. I enjoyed watching it.
Yeah.
I have criticisms of it, but I mean, that's any movie I watch. But no, I thought that was perfectly enjoyable. Some nice performances in it, and there was elements that were over the top, but it's 1972. Kevin, you'd not seen this before, right?
I'd never heard of this until until you started booking me to come on whenever you want to talk about obscure Micky Dolenz movies. I gotta say, I was not thrilled with this movie. I really thought it was pretty bad.
Okay.
Well, I mean, to start, one of the most deceptively titled movies in cinematic history.
Not a single person was strangled.
Well, yeah, not only is it sounds like a horror movie, it's not really a horror movie. And yet, Night of the Strangler, 0 strangling.
Right.
Like, it's bizarre. Did someone just randomly assign a title to this movie without knowing anything about it?
Well, and I've got some alternative titles here that they tried for marketing.
Right.
Elaine, do you have those as well?
I do. Yeah, it was there was a working title, The Ace of Spaces, which makes no sense. Dirty Dan's Women.
Now, if I'd watched Dirty Dan or Dirty Dan's Women and it was this movie, I'd be pissed.
Yeah.
This is not what I signed up for.
Also a very misleading title, yes.
Right.
Yeah, and the other two were, Is the Father Black Enough?
Yeah, that's very much leaning into the blaxploitation.
Yeah, and then the last one would have worked, Vengeance is Mine, because that kind of like an element of all the motor, that would have worked. I don't know why they went with Night of the Strangler.
I mean, to get people to pay their 25 cents or whatever it was in 1972.
I guess. I don't know.
It's very strange. It seems like a clerical error.
Right.
Like it's
I think that after it was made, they were just trying to come up with a title that would get butts in seats. But I mean, like, Dirty Dan is shooting for a different audience than Night of the Strangler, right? That's a very different vibe, like, of what they're going for. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And Dirty Dan's Women sounds like it should be in a completely different theater.
Yeah, it's the one you watch after everybody else goes to sleep.
Yeah. So,
I was also, when I saw your description, I saw the announcement Monkeying Around that this show was coming up this week, and the movie was described as blaxploitation, and I thought, oh, I didn't know this was blaxploitation. Then I started watching the movie, and I still didn't think it was blaxploitation. However, in your defense, that Wikipedia, if you look at the Wikipedia page, Wikipedia considers this blaxploitation. I do not.
Right. That's where that description of the film comes from.
A blaxploitation audience would be very disappointed going into this movie. I mean, I've seen plenty of those old 70s blaxploitation movies, and they're cool and they're fun, but this was not that.
No,
at a minimum, you'd expect a predominantly black cast.
Right. Yeah. I do think there are elements of blaxploitation.
Oh yeah,
in it,
there are some elements, but not nearly enough.
Right. I agree with you. That like you said, I mean, Wikipedia, and I just copied their description for our description.
Sure.
Calls it a 1972 American blaxploitation mystery film, which I think is also misleading, right? Because you got like 2 black characters in this film, you know. But you do have the element, and if anyone's watching this who hasn't seen, I don't know, should we save spoilers or something? I mean, how should we handle talking about a mystery film that's 50 years old?
Spoilers.
Okay,
There we go.
spoilers.
That's-
Throw out a spoiler warning. We're about to spoil Night
Right.
of the Strangler, a
You can
terrible
go watch
movie.
it on
which,
Tubi.
Yeah. I mean, it is a theme that comes up again in blaxploitation films of like the racist who gets it in the end, right?
Oh,
Who
yeah.
gets his
Oh, yeah.
revenge.
Yeah, I mean, but those like pure blaxploitation movies were. There was action.
Right.
The music is pounding through the whole thing. Like, where's Pam Grier? Where's
Yeah.
Richard Roundtree? You got to give me something. And this movie did not have any of that.
Right. Yeah. There's no Blackula in this film.
Yeah.
Art by Victoria says, isn't Mickey in Herbie also? Do you
feel
remember
like
Mickey
yes.
being in a Herbie movie?
Herbie the Love Bug?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Derek says, did that info say Ace of Spaces or Ace of Spades? And
It says Ace of Spaces.
it does.
Yeah.
That's what Wikipedia reports.
That was a working title.
I don't know where that came from because that doesn't fit in either.
Okay, good. And we have permission from CB Kitties who says, go ahead. I've seen the movie.
Excellent.
All right. Go for it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, let's start with Mickey. I mean, what did you think of his performance here?
I enjoyed it. It was
Okay.
fun.
I think Mickey was probably the best actor in this movie. Although,
Okay.
again, that's a low bar.
Okay.
Yeah, he was really good, but I also thought the one who played Father Jesse, he was really good too,
Mhm.
especially because I had forgotten about the twist until it was going. And I was like going, oh, because Matt was watching it too, and I'm like, oh, I forgot. Nope, I'm going to keep my mouth shut just because I remembered that, and so he was good too. And I know some of the ladies who were in it, like this is their only acting role, and I thought the one who married Mickey's character Vance, after all, like that was her only acting role. And I'm like,
Oh.
for somebody who's never acted before or since, she was
She was pretty good.
believable. Yeah. So,
I wonder if similar to Keep Off My Grass, which was also made in New Orleans, for some reason they kept pulling Mickey down to Louisiana to make these movies.
Right.
yeah,
But I wonder if like in that movie they were drawing a lot of local talent, and so you ended up
Probably.
I'm using the word talent loosely,
yeah.
but if they were pulling in a lot of local people in the New Orleans area who would not necessarily have gone on to a Hollywood career.
Yeah,
Probably,
could be.
yeah. So, and this was filmed around the same time as Keep Off My Grass, because that was 72 as well, wasn't it? Yeah.
Maybe
The
he shot
dating
them
on that
both.
one was inconsistent.
Yeah.
To say the least.
There are some differently reported dates on that one.
The same with this one, because
Yeah.
it says release date was 72, but then somewhere it's actually 73.
Yeah, having first screen in 73.
Yeah.
I mean,
but-
again, like just like with the last one, these little low-budget movies that essentially nobody ever saw. There was not a red carpet premiere, at the Chinese theater, so like it's hard to pin down when and if a lot of this stuff ever officially opened, and so that the dates get fuzzy.
Well, and because I mean, the prints have 72 as a copyright date, but there wasn't ever a copyright registration filed for the film, so
Okay.
it
Okay.
yeah.
So 1968 Cadillac says, hi, everybody.
Hi.
Derek
Hello.
says it's Ace of Spades,
Hmm.
which may well be accurate, but that's not what Wikipedia reports. So a Monkeys fan needs to update Wikipedia.
An Ace of Spades makes more sense anyway
does,
than Ace
it
of
does.
Spaces.
Not much more sense.
I'll
Right.
explain it to you later. And then Derek Miner says Mickey was floating on down to New Orleans to pick up on some swinging scenes.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, no, I thought Mickey was good in this.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not going to be an Academy Award-winning performance, but I thought he was fine. He was Mickey. He had a different range than we often see from him because he's
Mhm.
dealing with the brother and he's dealing with people being murdered, and the brother is marrying his ex-girlfriend, and then his current girlfriend or his wife gets murdered, and like a lot going on in this. His sister is
Yeah.
dealing with a lot of heavy family stuff.
Mhm.
But I thought he acquitted himself well, and he still looks like Monkey Mickey here.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh,
she
sure.
does.
I mean, this
Yeah.
is what in 72. Like, when did the Monkeys ended? In what, 70?
70. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Technically,
this was very shortly after the end of the
Right.
Monkeys. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
still Monkeys era.
Right.
Mickey.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, what do we think of the plot? Why do you laugh? I mean, it's a film. We treat it as a film.
It's so wacky. I mean,
Yeah.
I even question calling it a mystery, because usually with a mystery movie, like, there are clues and there's some kind of a mystery structure that one might expect to have any hints as to what's happening. And
Sure.
again, I won't even spoil the ending. Maybe we will later, but I won't right now. But the ending is out of nowhere wacky. But they just clobber you with information at the end. Here's what happened, and just a ton of weird information that just comes out of nowhere at the end. That's not how a mystery is supposed to work.
They did have a red herring in there for a while where it looked like things were trying to point towards Vance, Mickey's character, being the killer, because they mentioned him being in Nam, and the first and the first person that didn't seem like it was Dan, the brother, killing them, was the ex-girlfriend of Vance. So it kind of seemed like
it seemed like Mickey could be a suspect.
Yeah.
And they made a point about him being in Vietnam, and then you have that snake from the Asian islands that turns up as a, and it shows up in but no one watching this, I don't think, would buy that Mickey's a killer.
No.
Right. You'd have to really sell that, because like watching him in the film, you don't believe for a moment that he has the motivation or the desire to like murder his sister.
No, not to murder his sister, not to murder his ex-girlfriend / sister-in-law, because if he was that mad about that whole thing, he would have just murdered his brother and been done with it. I mean,
I did like that there was. This is still very much in like the post-hippie era, right?
Yeah.
And so where it's more cynical. But I liked that in that first scene when you're after the murder's taking place, and you see that the murderer has a peace sign belt buckle on.
Yes.
I liked that. I thought that was cool.
Yeah. And I can't remember. Did we find out who that guy was? The guy with the long blonde hair?
He was Hitman.
I must.
Yeah.
He was the hitman that hit
hired
the
assassin.
brother.
Okay.
Right.
I missed that somehow. Kind of
and
like
he came back because he wasn't paying up, so he was just like, all right, he was not going to pay up, he's going to die.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, yeah, I missed.
Okay, so Art by Victoria says, was this before or after Head? It was after. Head was 68, and this is 72.
Yeah.
And then Chris McGovern says, hello, everyone. Hello, Kevin.
Hello.
I've not seen this one. Is it better than Keep Off My Grass? I mean, it's different.
I would rather watch Keep Off My Grass. I think that's a more interesting movie. It's weird and it's fun in its way.
Right.
This movie is creepy and not fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed Keep Off My Grass more than this one. Veronica, you didn't like Keep Off My Grass.
No, I had an extremely hard time paying attention to Keep Off My Grass.
Okay.
I had a hard time paying attention to this, not an extremely hard time. Like, I was able to pay attention throughout the whole movie without feeling like I was crawling out of my skin and needed to get away. And it wasn't because I disliked Keep Off My Grass. It was fine, but everything moved way too slow for me.
Okay.
If anyone does not enjoy either one of these movies, that's perfectly understandable.
Oh,
That's a very valid reaction to both of these movies. It's fine.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, Elaine, which one did you prefer?
They're both about even, but oddly enough, I think I like Night of the Strangler a little better, but maybe because it seems like it's a more cohesive movie. Like Keep Off My Grass was kind of like meandering, and then they would it was kind of loose in a way. This was there was a plot, there was a story, might not have made any sense, but there was,
it's more movie shaped than
more movie shaped. Yeah,
Keep Off My Grass has more the feel of like your buddy rented a 16mm camera, and we're gonna make a movie now.
Yep.
I thought this movie, Keep Off My Grass, did a good job with locations and with the cars and things like that. I think that something that would have helped it would be there was clearly not enough budget for extras, because you have a lot of scenes where like you have 2 weddings in this movie, and I think there's 3 guests between them. Right. Yeah. and they're in big churches. It's not like they're at the courthouse or in a
New Orleans is empty.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like the Omega Man.
But also, I mean, there's just there's a limited number of suspects for this to be a mystery. You know what I mean? So at the end, when the brothers die. And I said to Veronica, like, well, it's either the priest or the hired killer, because that's a lot of people left in this movie.
That's right.
Except for the
Yeah.
detectives. And there are detectives that have sort of a through line through this movie. They show up kind of late, and they're
Right.
fairly ineffective and not very relevant to the plot, right? We're not following the detectives.
Well, and one of the detectives, he went on Harold Sylvester. He was a regular and married with children. He worked in the shoe store with Al Bundy.
Okay.
Like he was, you know, probably the second biggest well-known. He wasn't well-known back in 72, because I was like, that guy looks familiar. Well, he looked familiar, like much older, because he was a baby in this movie. Pretty much. But
like, didn't I buy shoes from that guy?
Yeah. But so yeah, I mean, I did think at Mickey's brother Dan's wedding, he did a really good job of being the drunk groomsman, showing up, driving up in his car, just being drunk, and that whole fight scene. I was like, that Mickey got to have some action scenes in this movie that, you know. So I thought that was.
And an understandable response if your brother steals your girlfriend and marries her, and you have to go be the groomsman, right?
Yeah,
I'm showing up drunk too.
I mean, yeah, why not? So yeah, but so I did enjoy that. And
what I don't understand is why, if she liked Vance, how did she ever possibly like Dan? Like Dan's a giant juice bag. Like, period, end of sentence.
Dan lives in a big, nice house, though.
Yes, and has a lot of money. And this is still the early 70s. And so that was still a big factor in who you might marry, because you couldn't buy your own stuff. You couldn't have your own credit cards. Everything had to be in your husband's name up until 1974. So that was that was so.
Yeah, and Dan was doing all right. He's an attorney, right? Wasn't that the story that he?
Yes, he's an attorney. Yeah.
They really never go into what happened to the parents,
right?
Because like it took me a little bit in that first scene to sort of like parse together, like, what is the dynamic here? Like, who are these people?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, this guy's not really old enough to be the dad, and everybody calls him Dan, and I mean, you sort of put it together as it goes along.
It took a little too long in that first scene to establish the relationship. And
because at first I thought they had not Dan, Vance and his sister. I thought they were like friends.
Right.
And like they had dated in the past, or she had dated his friend, or one of his friends had dated her, or something like that, is what the dynamic seemed like until they were like, after they had the fight in the house and were walking outside, I realized that, they're siblings.
And that's
they
something
didn't act like siblings.
It's a balancing act in movies, and it's something I've been paying more attention to in recent years, is delivering information to the audience that the audience needs in a natural way.
Right.
And that's a challenge. And because some movies will overdo it, where they'll just be talking at, hello, well, you're my brother and I'm your brother, and now we shall, and so, well, people don't talk like that.
Right.
Sometimes in movies they're just, spitting information at the audience. I think they went a little too far the other way in this scene, and that they did not give us the information. You have to find a way to naturally work things into the conversation so that we know what we need to know. And this is obviously a little weirdo low budget movie. They didn't polish up the script terribly well, perhaps.
Yeah, you do run into that in a lot of movies where it's like people call each other like, "Hey, cousin," or "Hey, brother." And things like that, right?
Awkward, clumsly exposition to deliver the information.
As you know,
kind of
just so they can tell the audience.
Yes.
Well, let's talk a little about Dan, or as the alternative titles called him, Dirty Dan. What do you think of Dirty Dan?
He was a nasty piece of work. That's all I have to say. Ow, quit biting me. My cat's over here biting me. The whole, I mean, I know it's New Orleans, and he's, I guess, old money New Orleans and the South, and it's still, very racially segregated and stuff, but wow. That was still a lot to watch him hollering at Denise, about how she couldn't marry her fiance, and then she was going to have his baby, and I was just like, you are just way too much over the edge.
Yeah.
And then Vance was trying to kind of not defend him as much, but just kind of like, well, you know how he is. Well, and yeah, but that doesn't mean it's right, any of that. And so that was a little hard to watch a little bit.
It's definitely uncomfortable, especially to our modern sensibilities.
Yeah.
And that when that N-word starts flying around, and you hear that a couple of dozen times at least in this movie.
Just from just from him.
Mostly from the one guy. Not exclusively, but mostly.
Right.
And that's a thing where that word was tossed around a lot more back then than it is now. I mean, you'd hear that on All in the Family. They use that on Saturday Night Live. And they would never say that on SNL these days. So things have tightened up, thankfully, with the use of that word. To these days, like outside of a Quentin Tarantino movie, you don't hear it much anymore, which is for the best, of course. But it's so ugly and jarring for us these days when you go back to a movie like this, and suddenly they are throwing those terms around.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and I think it's to this film's credit that it sort of directly tackles racial issues, right? It doesn't shy away from them, and it doesn't sugarcoat Dan or his perspectives or anything like that, right? He's not made to be like, a comfortable racist or a friendly racist or anything like that. He's a pretty disgusting character.
Yeah.
But and the kind of character certainly that, I mean, to be frank, is still around today, but obviously was still around in 1972.
Yeah.
Especially in the South, I think, and I'm sure all over, but I guess the South is where I'm from, so I think especially the South. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
then oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I mean, I knew people growing up to still sort of carry these kind of attitudes. Growing up in Georgia.
Well, and there was a good scene where you got to see him turn it on and off when the priest came to visit him, and he went up to his study, and then like the doorbell rang or something, and he went downstairs and was fussing at his wife about how he was here and blah blah blah, but then he came back upstairs and had that smile on like he had not said a word, and it was like, ooh, he probably has some white sheets in his closet somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Right.
So
yeah.
One thing I clocked early on was in the beginning or near the beginning when you saw the sister, and I don't remember her name now. Was it Denise?
Yes.
Denise, the sister's name?
Denise.
And you saw Denise with her boyfriend or baby daddy, however you want to say it. And they were walking along. I noticed that they only showed the back of his head specifically.
Right.
And I was like, oh, well, he's going to die. So obviously they're just going to use the same actor in another scene. And I assumed that it was played by the same actor that was playing the priest, not realizing
the twist.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
So I figured it out, but not exactly.
Okay. Right. You thought it was strictly for budget reasons. We just
right. They only have
a lack of
actors.
bodies for this scene.
Right. I've got a comment here from Art by Victoria who says, kind of off topic, but I think you guys would like Sheep Detectives.
Probably.
I want to see it.
Okay.
Oh,
I want to see it eventually.
It's got Wolverine and Australia, and the sheep decide to solve a mystery.
Because he dies.
All right.
Yeah.
That's all I know. Which probably has more of a mystery than this film has.
Yes.
But I mean, it wasn't an ongoing thing of like for the audience, at least. There were detectives in the movie who weren't particularly effective, but for the audience, there is a who's doing these killings sort of a thing. And is it the same person every time? Because they would do that thing where they only would show like from like the shoulders down. Right. They don't show your face.
Yeah.
And
so
even
always gloves. Always gloves. So you're not even getting the race of the
Right. Yeah.
And but we did know that there was also like a hired killer running around. But you don't really know, like, is the hired killer committing these other crimes or is it somebody else?
Yeah.
And they all had sort of the generally shaped body, like the same sort of general body shape, where you could be in really any of the four characters in this movie, you know?
Yeah.
Like I said, there's not a lot of suspects to choose from, because I sort of watch for that in horror movies of like, as they introduce suspects and then sort of looking for clues and that sort of thing. And you don't really get to do that in this because, I mean, I guess by the time that the priest and the detectives are in the movie, everybody's in the movie.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Well, what did you think of the detective and his? I guess they're both detectives.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
One of
The
them.
older and the younger one, the white guy and the
Yeah.
black guy.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
had some sort of, oh, you white guys are just like this kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it was in a teasing way.
right. Not yeah.
Mhm.
Not
Yeah,
the kind
yeah.
of racist stuff.
I
that
like their
Dan-
little basketball scene together.
Yeah,
that was
that was
cute.
cute.
I like it. The guy comes in and said, "Who won?" He's like, "Screw you."
Yeah.
I thought that was cute.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
were fine. They were just kind of generic investigating detectives.
Right.
Well, they did do a good job of catching Jake at the end of the movie when
Yep.
when he goes to get in the car and there's the snake in his car and he jumps up and it's like, I got you.
Which is a pretty bizarre move on the part of the
I know. I
detectives.
mean,
Yeah.
yeah. But
Yeah,
still,
well-
that was kind of funny.
Yeah. Well, for anyone watching who's not seen this film, we're going to go ahead and talk about the ending and the twist. So if
Yes.
anyone who wants to check out now and come back later, this is your warning. But what did you think about it being, for one, the priest, for two,
Sort of.
the twin brother thing,
Yeah.
and then the double ending, right? Because I was watching it and I wasn't really surprised. I like the twist that it was the priest. I thought my identical twin brother, blah blah blah, came out of nowhere because you hadn't
Yes.
established he had a twin brother, obviously.
Right.
But then I liked the ending where he just kills him and gets away with it, and he just goes like, "Oh, I
Yeah.
killed all you honkies," and like he won. But then they had the second ending
Mhm.
where he gets caught by the police. So I think it would have been. I think it would have been a better ending if it ended there. I expected credits when he was just like, "Doop-a-doop-a-doo, everyone's dead but me." I'm like, credits roll.
Yeah.
I thought
I
that would have been
agree.
a good
I agree.
ending.
I
That would have
think
been fine.
that would have been a better ending for the movie.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
ending
it
that they
was-
had was more hilarious.
It was just
Oh.
so strange that when you because the detectives were kind of the normal ones through the whole
Yeah.
thing. Like they
Yes.
seemed like normal detectives, and it's almost like they've been driven mad by the end by the madness that they were investigating. That now they're planting deadly snakes just like these other people.
Oh no,
were.
there was no. I don't think there was a snake in it. I think it was just the same bouquet of flowers,
Yeah,
in
there
the
were-
same vase.
There were the flowers in the
Yeah.
I think it was just the flowers.
But I still think
Oh.
it's funny to think of them like planning it. Like, okay, I got it. We're gonna get this. Just wait to see look on his face when he sees that
Yeah.
we got the same
Okay,
bouquet in his car.
I think the Wikipedia summary says that they plant a snake
Okay.
in the car.
Well,
I'll
it
have to go
does.
back
It
and
does
look.
say presumably because you don't see
Oh,
the snake.
okay.
You do see the roses in the vase, but
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
but
how
there
the
wasn't
snake-
another snake imported, so there's
you know.
Maybe they went to
But-
the extent of planting a deadly snake in the suspect's car. But I think that the flowers were sort of the gotcha. I didn't
Yeah.
even think
Yeah,
about the
the
fact that they might
flowers.
also be a
Yeah,
snake.
and that's it's still a little crazy for detectives to do that, but way less crazy than planting an actual snake. Okay, after reading
Yeah.
the Wikipedia thing, I thought that there was a snake in that car that we didn't see, but okay, so maybe not then.
So we've
Yeah.
learned that Wikipedia is not always a definitive source. through
Well,
other
that's
No.
certainly true. They think that this is blaxploitation, so I already have a
Right.
problem with Wikipedia.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
and then the cover art is like wild. Yeah,
Are you talking about the
cover
one with the
art
lady being
for the
strangled?
movie, The Night of the Strangler. It's like this random blonde
Right,
woman
right.
being strangled through a door.
Yeah,
It's
someone's
like
actually
what
being
that
strangled.
that's not even anything in the movie.
Right? Yeah,
ever.
there are no strangulations in this film.
No, and no locked
Weird.
doors
Yeah.
like that. Yeah,
So Art by
No.
Victoria says, "Wait, so it wasn't Mickey's character?"
nope.
Nope. Sorry if we ruined the end of that movie for you, Victoria.
But Mickey was not the killer.
Nope. And then CB Kitties says the ending was not what I thought. Hated both the brothers dying.
yes.
Yeah,
I didn't
I
mind
thought
Dan
about that
dying.
too.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't mind Dan dying. He
Oh yeah,
needed
you would
to-
expect Dan to die, but yeah, Mickey's character dying as well. I was kind of surprised,
Yeah.
and I even thought like during the fake priest's long weird confession, I thought Mickey was gonna, turns out he's still alive. I was waiting for that for
Yeah,
Mickey to come around, and we never got that.
that would have been good too.
Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be
which I
more-
mean, I think if the movie was made today, Mickey would have survived. But
Right.
back
Yeah.
then, those 70s movies were so weird and so dark that they were not afraid to just go dark and just have everybody die at the end and just
Yeah,
and just a gut punch. Everybody feels sad and creepy, and they roll the credits as you hang your head and slink out of the theater. A lot of 70s stuff worked like that.
Right. Yeah, it's and that's definitely the more Hollywood ending would be that the heroic character that we like, the nice guy, gets the drop on him in the end, and turns out he survives.
Yep.
Yeah.
But you're right.
Yeah.
Like 70s films didn't really do that. I
Yeah,
mean, they
no, these
did, I'm
days-
sure, but not. They're way more common to have
Less
these dark
likely.
endings.
They
Yeah.
would have shown this to a test audience, and then the director would get notes like, "No, Mickey's got to survive.
Right.
We need,
Yeah.
we need,
He's
a,
the
we need a
likable
reshoot."
one from television is why he's in this movie.
Yeah.
And then the whole time they're like, "Oh, just wait till we get him." You know what I mean? They're gonna
Yeah.
watch.
Yeah,
Mickey
he would have
die.
popped back up and started singing Pleasant Valley Sunday. if they were-
Right.
Well, I mean, could they even killed off the gardener? I mean, they killed everybody.
Oh yeah, we didn't really get into the gardener.
The
so, like,
gardener. I mean,
yeah.
because Dan fired him because he had the audacity to. Well, I forgot what he did.
Come
What
in the
did
front
he-
door, maybe.
No, he told. He talked to somebody, and Dan saw him talking to somebody. What?
Well,
did
for
he-
those who haven't seen it, like Victoria,
Yeah.
Dan's the racist with a mansion, and you
Yeah.
have the older African American gardener who has worked for both Dan and his father. He's been in the family for years,
Yeah.
and Dan summarily fires him, even though the guy's got a wife on medication and needs the money. And then the guy's wife dies, and he comes back for his revenge
Mhm.
against Dan later on in the film. And I was kind of rooting for that guy because I liked him better.
Sure.
I know.
And Victoria says, "LOL, this whole time I'm trying to figure out who it was. I basically watched it. I wish we
Yeah.
were telling the story in order then, so you could have experienced it."
Yeah, I think we've done a better job telling the story than,
Well, yeah,
than
yeah,
the filmmakers did.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I didn't dislike this film. I thought it was fine.
Yeah, it was fine.
It's not going to go in my top 10 by any means.
No.
But no, I thought it was perfectly watchable. I thought the actors did a good job. It was well paced. There were some good twists in the story, and some bad twists. And I like that. I mean, at least the killer had a series of ingenious ways of murdering people.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
got sort of crazier as they went along, which is kind of nice. You know what I mean? That's what you want. Like you don't want to top out in the first killing. You want
Right.
every one of them to get sort of more and more. I like that contraption he had that seemed specifically designed to go behind that lady's seat and shoot
Oh,
an
yeah.
arrow
Oh
through
yeah,
her.
That
yeah.
was a very
Ah.
specific murder device to plant
Right.
in somebody's car.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, and he was really going for the like exotic, like the weird venomous snake, and then
Yeah.
the super poison stuff from the jungle to I'm like, okay.
How did the snake know for how long to hide in the bouquet of like was the snake in on it? The snake, that was a perfectly timed killing by the snake.
Right.
Well,
I don't think the snake was in there because the flowers came earlier and they
Okay.
didn't
Yeah.
sit there for a while, and they were sitting in the same spot until
Oh, I
almost
thought the
the same
snake
spot
was.
until after the priest left.
So you think the
Oh.
priest snuck the snake in and put it in?
Yes, because she took the
Oh.
flowers up there to the bedroom
Oh,
and was
okay.
smelling them, and that's when.
Okay. There you go.
Alright.
Okay.
Okay.
That makes sense. Yeah. But
All
also
right.
it sort of sets Mickey up as a suspect again because they
Mhm.
came from his florist shop, right?
Huh,
Yeah.
Okay. See, all this time I thought the snake came with the flower. I have a lot more to learn about this movie. I'm gonna have to.
Right. But yeah, I mean, I like the gardener storyline. It was tragic, but I
Yeah.
mean, it's just again the guy who Dan is.
Mhm.
You know, he took a little delight in firing that guy who's been
Yeah.
working for the
Mhm.
family for however many years.
Yeah.
But I did like that he showed back up to get his revenge.
Mhm.
And I kind of like the scene where there's that one like surprisingly competent security guy at the dock who
Yeah.
spots the killer and takes him
Yeah.
out. Like,
Quick on the
hey, yeah,
draw.
this guy's earning his
Yeah.
$4 an
Yikes.
hour or whatever.
I think
guy
that's the
was-
first security guy I've ever seen do his
That
actual
was
job.
ready.
Right.
Guns blazing, one shot, perfect, got him down. That
Took out a
was,
professional killer
yikes.
in the midst of his assassination. Like, you go,
Yeah.
buddy.
He was way too close. The assassination guy. He was not in a smart spot.
He was too visible.
Yes.
Oh,
but
yeah.
they did have to look around with binoculars to figure out who he was targeting.
Yeah.
And then, of course, it was Dan just standing there with his binoculars the whole time. Like, you expect him to wave. But no, I thought it was enjoyable enough. And like I said, they did a good job for a movie on this like budget level of
Right.
like sets and locations. I mean, I'm sure it's primarily locations, but they picked good locations. Like there was never a time when you felt like the mansion was a fake looking set or anything like that. I'm sure they found somewhere to shoot. Similarly with the church and the boat and the dock, and there were some like just believable locations. You don't always get that on low budget films.
Right.
Mhm.
That's true.
You know,
Yeah.
But no, I thought they did a good job. But like I said, I do think they would have benefited from having more characters.
Mhm.
And really, I mean, maybe this is what they're going for, but I mean, some sort of justification for the way Dan is. Maybe it's just because like Dan's a racist, but his little brother's not, and his little sister's not.
Yep.
Right. So why is Dan?
And
this
clearly
way?
the parents weren't to the same extent Dan was, because they had Black Gardner.
Right. So
that does, just because there was a black
Yeah.
gardener does not mean
True.
True.
because
But
that,
they didn't immediately fire him just because he was black.
no. But my theory on why Dan stayed a racist or whatever is because he stayed in New Orleans. He stayed in that where Vance went to Vietnam.
Yeah.
Because my dad grew up in small town Swanee, Georgia.
Yeah.
And when he joined the Navy straight out of high school, his eyes got open to the rest of the world.
Yeah,
and
that's a good
it's
point.
like, oh, okay, there's all these people out here that in Swanee and his, and
Yeah.
so that Vance saw more of the world, and his sister was in New York City, and you can see the world in New York City too.
Yeah,
So
for
I
sure.
think that why they were younger too.
Yeah.
And
That's true.
that's my theory.
Yeah. No, I mean, those are all good, valid points. And I wish the
Yeah.
film had made them too, because I
Yeah.
think that you could have gone deeper into that in this film.
Mhm.
And have more of the conflict between Dan and his brother, being that Vance has seen more of the world and didn't stay home. But also, I mean, Dan obviously is very successful and lives in a big, nice house. Now, whether that was, I mean, I guess that was the parents' house and he inherited it.
Probably, yeah.
But I mean, he seems to be at least an attorney, and you would assume a successful one to be living the lifestyle he's living.
Yeah.
No, I think that there was some meat left on the bones as far as the character development for sure.
Mhm.
And
yeah, especially with the women.
yeah, I'm a little
Those-
fuzzy
the
on
women-
how he ended up with Vance's girlfriend, and Vance got a new one. Now he's Micky Dolenz, so I'm sure he can find himself a lady in 1972.
Yep, she was
but
a fan.
yeah,
But, yeah,
Wasn't
the
she
women-
a teacher at the priest place where he was?
Yeah, I think she worked.
Right,
she was a
right.
teacher at the school
Right.
at the church.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. But
Yeah,
the women characters were not developed at all.
not at all. No.
No.
And I
gonna say
also
there
thought
was-
that the evil twin thing is kind of a very soap opera-esque
Yeah.
twist to
Yeah.
throw in at the end, right? If you haven't already established that now, if you'd established that this guy had left a seminary because he had a someone close in his family pass away or that sort of thing without giving away the whole thing, I think that could have been more effective. But but he was my twin.
Yeah. Evil twins are only fun if you get to see them both at the same time, and they do
Yeah.
the cheap split screen effect.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just feel like there was a little bit of foreshadowing, oddly enough, when Jesse the priest comes back in, and then the one who did marry Vance, what was her name? Anne?
Mhm.
Yeah, Anne. She came in holding this stuffed snake that she needed to come get to teach her biology class.
Right.
So there was a snake showing up somewhere. That was it. I
Yeah.
just put that together. Of course, it was
Wow.
like a big,
Yep.
boa type something.
Yeah.
It wasn't that little.
Almost as many
Venomous thing.
snakes as people in New Orleans.
Yeah.
I did genuinely feel for Mickey's character when his wife, like, they're getting in the car is how quickly, like, how recently they got married.
Yeah.
And she gets brutally murdered in front of him. I thought that was pretty heart wrenching.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, this whole movie is just a series of absolutely horrifying things happening.
Yeah.
True.
I
It's
mean,
true.
this is almost not. It's not a mystery. It's kind of
No.
a thriller, but it's
Okay.
not. It's a murder thriller.
Okay.
Is that a thing?
I don't know.
A murder. I don't know what you call it because it's not a mystery. I mean, there's a mysterious element who's doing all the
Right.
murders,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
it's not.
it's not a proper mystery.
Not a whodunit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
and it's not a horror movie, which the cover kind of makes you think it's going to be some kind of
Right.
weird horror movie, but I don't know what you would call this one.
Right.
We can only define it by what it's not, and there's a lot of things that it is
It's
not.
not.
And
Yeah.
mystery, horror, and blaxploitation are three of those things.
No, but I do think it has elements of those things in it, though.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is the third movie we've talked about on this podcast from Micky Dolenz filmography. Because we had Keep Off My Grass, we had The Zombie Wedding,
Mhm.
and then now this one.
Yeah.
Zombie Wedding is the best of those.
Yes.
Oh, I have not seen that one yet.
Yeah,
It's fairly recent, and
Yeah.
it's a
it just came out
independent
Oh,
film.
like last year.
Oh wow. Okay.
Mhm. And we talked to the director on this podcast. So
Oh, cool. Oh,
for anyone
I
who's
missed-
not
I
heard
missed
that, feel
one.
free to go back to that one.
I will go back to that one.
Do we know what's next up for Mickey? Is the next one the Linda Lovelace one?
Is that one we are gonna find
Well,
and watch?
That's still up for debate. I had suggested it and got shut down. So if I edit out the porn scenes, perhaps you guys will watch it. It's not right on the podcast. I offer to do that as well.
I mean, could that'd be
It'll be a 2-minute movie.
I'll pre-watch it and see what you guys would be getting into. For research for this podcast, I'm dedicated like
that. Let's see.
Some hero has got to step up and do the research
That's right.
on this movie.
I know. Linda Lovelace
for president.
is although it says "Keep Off My Grass" is after that one, but we know that that's all out of
No one
wrong
knows when
order.
that came out.
Yeah.
Well, what's after Linda Lovelace?
I am looking a bunch of TV stuff.
Okay.
Something called Deadfall.
Okay.
I don't know what that is.
Okay. Well, we'll have to do some more research then into Mickey's
From
Eventually we'll get to Boy Meets World.
1993.
eventually.
It's a movie from 1993 with Nicolas Cage, James Coburn, Peter Fonda, Charlie Sheen, Talia Shire.
Sounds way better.
Okay.
But it's probably got 30 seconds of Micky Dolenz in it.
Probably. I mean, it's going to be like, what was the one I watched? We watched it. It had Tiffany, Matt and I watched it. It had Tiffany and Debbie Gibson. It was like Gatoroid versus Mega Python or something
one of
like
those
that.
Sharknado type movies.
Yeah, and he was in it, and he was playing himself, and
Right.
that was fun to watch. That was actually really stupid, but like stupid fun to watch.
Yeah.
Kind of like Zombie Wedding. It's just a bonkers movie, and it's fun and it's
Yeah.
stupid.
Well, we'll get to all of them eventually.
Yeah, we
Got a
will
comment
rewatch.
here from Victoria that says, I feel like it kind of sounds like the old Elvis movie layouts where there's a ton of different things happening at once. I do think the Elvis movies are more entertaining.
Yes.
You get song and dance and jokes,
sure.
and this one was more of a string of killings. That we
Yeah,
were
the
witness to.
Elvis movies are fun.
Right.
Yeah.
This is
Well,
not fun.
Kevin, tell us a little about the Flopcast.
Oh yeah, the Flopcast I like to think is fun. I would hope. The Flopcast is also part of the ESO network, just like Monkeying Around. We've been doing this show every week since 2012, so we've done 700 and something episodes at this point. And it's a very, very silly, goofy, nerdy pop culture comedy kind of show where we tend to obsess over pop culture of the 70s and 80s and lots of other silly things as well. So we're just goofing around. We're having fun every week. And yeah, you can find us at flopcast.net or right here on ESO Network.
That's awesome. And we'll see you at Dragon Con, I'm sure.
I'll be at Dragon Con. I am, as you two are, I'm an attending pro at Dragon Con, so I will be doing panels and presentations and all sorts of fun stuff all weekend. I work mostly with the American Sci-Fi Classics track, so we're doing the 40th anniversary of Pee-wee's Playhouse. That's going to be a panel. We're doing the Croft Super Show in honor of Sid and Marty Croft. Saturday Night Live, we're going to be doing like some script readings of Saturday Night Live sketches, and a lot of very, very fun stuff is happening all weekend. As you know, with all your puppets and whatnot, Dragon Con is just the best. So yeah, I know that we're all going to be so busy all weekend. Hopefully our paths shall cross at some point, but that's difficult.
Yeah, I'll be over there for a bit on Friday. I'm doing a thing with Dave West.
I love Dave.
A table read of Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends episode.
Oh, nice. Yes, that's also in the classics track. Yes,
and I'm playing Dracula in that one.
Oh, nice.
So that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
And I mean, Elaine and Veronica, we're all together again.
Yeah.
For the first time in several weeks.
Yeah.
The last few shows, just through circumstances, turned into one of us hosting with guests. Last week was unexpected for both Elaine and I. So Veronica, you did a great job of taking over. But I'm glad we're all back. Missed everybody. I mean, I've seen you all in real life.
We had dinner on Friday.
And Saturday too.
Oh yeah.
I know.
But Elaine, where can people find more of you?
You can find me on Facebook and Blue Sky at Monkeying Around. Our email is monkeyingaroundpodcast@gmail.com. Haven't done this in a while. I'm surprised I remember it.
Getting rusty.
And then you can also find me on Facebook at Elaine and Matt Watch TV, where I chronicle what Matt and I are watching on TV. And I will also be at DragonCon. I will be at a panel Saturday morning in the Brit Track, Welcome to Wrexham, where we will talk about Welcome to Wrexham and what all that means to soccer, football, fan, TV, documentaries, all that stuff. I will also be volunteering in Tech Ops, so I will be in either the Marriott or the Hilton in one of the ballrooms. You may see me loading people in and out for different panels.
Like a hand truck?
No,
Hold still.
no, not quite that. Or you might see me running across from one ballroom to the other so I can sneak in and see the Star Trek Enterprise panel that's not in the ballroom I'm working, but it's in the same hotel. So I, have to go find Connor Trenier while I'm there. So, but yeah.
Awesome. And Veronica, where people find more of us?
FeltNerdy.com.
That's right. And you can follow Felt Nerdy across social media or on YouTube. And actually, we just released something sort of from our archives. For anyone who's a Star Trek fan out there, there was recently a big Star Trek puppet episode. And yes, there are our puppets. But back during the pandemic, we filmed a few different things for virtual conventions. And one of them was a Star Trek thing where we just in our house with just us and our puppets filmed several of our routines, sort of edited them together, and that was for a virtual con, but it never was released widely because it's a little rough around the edges, right? We don't have a spaceship in here. It's our living room is being the spaceship, right? But in looking back and it was 5 years ago this month that it happened. It's sort of an artifact of that time of when everyone was just trying to entertain one another from our homes. And so I decided to go ahead and release it just with that explanation that, here's an artifact of the post-pandemic era when we still weren't back to full-time conventions yet. We're all just trying to be entertaining from our houses where we could. So you can find that on our Felt Nerdy YouTube. That's called Bad Reboot.
And if you've seen the little clips that we'll play as our commercials, either on Monkeying Around or Earth Station Trek, our Felt Nerdy one has several clips from that in it.
Yeah, for sure. But no, go check that out if you have an interest in that. It's kind of fun, and just watch it with with the knowing what it is. Right.
And if you want to know where we're at DragonCon, follow us on Facebook. That's where we primarily post, and we'll be posting on Facebook about what we're doing at DragonCon.
And we had mentioned this, but several weeks ago when we were at Monsterama, we had just walked in, and a lady walked up to us and was like, "Hey, I recognize you." And I wasn't really surprised because we've done Felt Nerdy for a while. We were doing 15 convention shows a year, and we've done
Monsterama like 3 years in a row.
Yeah,
it's been a while.
We do a lot of DragonCon, so it's not surprising for someone at a convention to recognize us. But then she goes, "You do the Monkeying Around show on YouTube."
We're like,
and I was like, "Hey, yes, we do." I believe her name was Carol. This is a few weeks ago, but if so, hey, Carol, and I hope you're still watching. And she was super delightful, and that kind of made our day. We weren't even to the registration table yet, and she came up and recognized us from this show. And she also recommended that we should do a Atlanta-based meetup at some point that I think would be fun. Yeah. So if you're out there and you're in the Atlanta area, hey, KB Kitty, CB Kitty says that was me.
Yay!
So if anyone else is in the Atlanta area or can get themselves to the Atlanta area, be interested in a meetup in this area, shoot us a line at monkeyingaroundpodcast@gmail.com because we'd like to see just sort of what the interest would be and see if we can get something together, not like a convention, but like a
hangout,
a meetup or something, right? And meet some local people or some people who can travel and make themselves local. Just hang out with some Monkeys folks would be fun. And it was a pleasure to meet you. I just want you to know you made our day. We talked about it all day.
Yeah.
Elaine was so mad that she wasn't there.
I was like, dang it.
And where else can people find us?
Earth Station Trek, our podcast about Star Trek.
That's right. And join us tomorrow night. That's Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern here on YouTube at Earth Station Trek. We'll be talking about the latest episode of Strange New Worlds. And then once Strange New Worlds comes to an end for the season, then we'll be talking about legacy Star Trek topics for a while there. So come check out Earth Station Trek. We have a lot of fun. We've been doing that show for 5 years now.
And I will not be there tomorrow because the Melons, who were on our podcast a couple of weeks ago, we were invited. One of the Melons are playing with the Neon Trees, who are currently touring with the Goo Goo Dolls, and they will be in Macon, Georgia, and they got us tickets. So Elaine and I will be driving down to Macon tomorrow and going to see the neon trees and the Goo Goo Dolls.
Have a good time.
Yes,
You're
We
monkeying
will.
around down there.
we'll be monkeying around.
That's right.
Yep.
So if you're at the Goo Goo Dolls concert in Macon tomorrow, look for Veronica and Elaine.
I have no idea where we're sitting or standing.
No, I don't know.
Wherever we are put.
Yeah.
And we had a question. But
Yep. Arba Victoria says, "Are you going to the Monkeys convention?"
no,
And no, yeah, we're booked up. We have a bunch of gigs at Dragon Con.
we
and
we
so-
will literally never do anything other than Dragon Con Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, they book a lot of times. They book us like during the con for next year.
Yes.
And so we've had a lot of success there, and it's local. But I would love to do a Monkeys convention at some time. I was just talking to one of our Monkeys pals today about how I've never been to a Monkeys convention. I'd love to, and they're gonna have Chip Douglas at this one.
No.
And it's in Connecticut, right?
Something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, which
That's
is
where
very
they've done
close.
most of the Monkeys conventions.
Yeah, and I'm in Massachusetts. I'm very close, but I'm not
Okay.
going to be at the Monkeys convention either because I'm coming down to Georgia to see all
Yeah.
of you.
Well, hopefully there'll be more opportunities for Monkeys conventions in the future because I would love to go to one.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
All right, everyone. Thanks for monkeying around.